Hello, good day, and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda, aka Tony. It's time to start the sowing. It's overtime, really. We want to get into it, get the growing done. So on this episode, we're going to start off with our peas and beans, early onward peas, and a variety called Bunyard's Exhibition, which are the beans. So let's get cracking with that. Let's get up to the allotment and get a go on. I'm here with Harry Potter. Right, see you in a bit, boys and girls. Bye-bye. Hello. So, we've got our mix, which is going to be our seed start mix, of filtered compost. It's gone through 5mm sieve. These are 5mm square holes, if you like, in the sieve. And it's also had 20% addition of vermiculite, which I'll try and grab here. Vermiculite additive for compost. Knock it up. And that's a sort of a medium grain one, because I couldn't get the really fine stuff. But it'll do. So that's the compost mix, or the start mix for our seeds. Now, we're going to be doing the peas first. Early onward peas, you can start them in February. And as you can see on there, it's from February to May that you do the sowing of the seeds. You can direct sow these, but it's a little bit cold up here in the frozen north, so we're doing them inside the Polytunnel. This first batch anyway. I'm going to be doing 40 today. I'm going to be starting off 40 today. And we've got these little cells, as you can see here. These little cells of 4. They go into there. That's got about ½ an inch of water in it, clean water in the tray. So it'll absorb up the moisture through a process of osmosis, I guess, and it draws up the water and dampens off all the compost, the seed start compost, and then the seed will get the idea, hopefully, then, and burst out and start to put some roots down and some leaves out. So that's the game plan. Now you could put 2 seeds per section in here, but I'm not going to do. I'm only going to put 1. I'm guessing that these seeds are this year's batch, so they should be okay, I think. I mean, I might put, should I put 2 in? You can put 2, because we've got loads of seeds. There's 350 seeds there. Go on, I'll put 2 in. And then if one of them doesn't fire, then you can hopefully rely on the second one to get the idea. But if both come up at once, then I suppose you can double plant them. It doesn't really matter, does it? Fortune favours the brave. So let's get them in anyway. So we'll fill up these with our compost, our seed mix. Be careful not to spill too much out. Give them a tap down. You want the cells to be filled. But you don't want to be too. You don't want the growing medium to be too firmly packed in, because then it can restrict the roots from spreading their wings, and kind of defeats the object. So you want it relatively loose, but not too loose and not too packed. Alright, so that's all we do. Fill them and top them a little bit if needs be. It's dead easy. Simplify Gardening, Tony O'Neill. You don't want it to be overly complicated. You're trying to grow crops, aren't you? So that's all there is to it. And then we pop in the seeds, so we'll get the seeds out. So I'm going to need 40 altogether if I'm putting 2 in each one. So yeah, we'll just place them on the top. You can actually push them down right now if you wanted to. You want to go down about ½ inch. Or is it an inch? Let me have a check there before I get too carried away. We'll put them down about 1 inch. When you're planting them outside, you put them down a couple of inches really. Just pause you and we'll get back to you. Right, so I changed my mind. Had a bit of a change of heart. I've gone 1 seed per cell. They're 1 inch down. I'm just going to cover them now and just sprinkle over. The reason I'm favouring the 1 per cell is they're not very big cells anyway, these. They don't have a great deal of room to spread the wings. They are going to be planted out, obviously. In about a month or so. And I'm doing 2 sets of these. So that'll be potentially 40 plants. But I only need 30. So there's no need to double up, is there? I only need 30 plants for this particular thing that I'm doing. Actually, do I need 30? No, I need 32. So hopefully we'll be getting 32, because these are going to be going 4 plants to a bucket. We're going to be doing them in the container buckets, and we're having 4 plants per bucket. Anyway, that's slowly for another show, isn't it? That. But there we are. So they're all in there now. Now all we're doing is we're going to take them out of there. Some people soak them overnight, you can do. I've not noticed any difference, to be honest. They go into the tray, into the water. And then hopefully the fluid will be drawn up through a capillary action. It's not osmosis, is it? A capillary action. Like a sponge. The hydrophilic nature of the compost will draw it up. And there we have them. Yeah, so there'll be 20, hopefully 20 pea plants. Started off in there. Now with these little trays, they're not very expensive, and I think I got these from, it was either B&Q or Wilco. I think it was B&Q though, these. But they're not very expensive. They only last a couple of seasons though, that's the problem. And you get this. Ooh. Constricted in it. You get this, and this goes over the top. Hopefully. There's like a little propagator cover. So they're not expensive, these, but you pay cheap and you pay twice sometimes, really. That's not actually going over. No, it's not going over then. Very well. That's disappointing, boys and girls, isn't it? Doesn't fit. Well, we'll see how we go. They're inside the polytunnel anyway, aren't they? So they shouldn't be too bad, but I'm going to put a label on them. So these are early onward. They were planted on the 12th. Need to pop that into one of the cells and then cover it up like that. And that should have all it needs now. No need to water them anymore, I don't think, in these conditions. It's not hot, you're not going to get too much evaporation. If that fitted properly on there, you'd probably need to get some airflow going through anyway, so I'm not too concerned about the fact that it doesn't fit very well. But yeah, there we go. Pay cheap, you pay twice. Okay, so next up we've got the Bunyard's Exhibition. Superb flavour and freezes well. These are broad beans, obviously. I like King Seeds because they put the nutritional information on the packet. A good source of vitamins A, C, E and protein. The gardener's favourite for over 100 years. Now for these ones we want to push them down 2 inches. I'm putting, this is a 4-inch pot, relatively deep, which you need for broad beans because they do spread the wings underground, and you want that good root system filling up the pots. But they need to go down at 2 inches. Now the scale I use is my finger, so up to the first knuckle is 1 inch, and the second, or just below the second, is the 2-inch mark. For me, it makes it easier. It's not rocket science this, guys. In there you go, cover them up, pat them down a bit, job's a good one. Now I've done that with all of these here as well. These 3-inch pots, it's just 1 seed per pot, so we've got 10 there, and then we've got 2 in each of the 4-inch ones, because I want 16 altogether. That's how I'm doing it. You see the 4-inch pots are slightly bigger, slightly taller. I'm going to leave the peas in that one because that's lid fits properly and it doesn't seem to be leaking, but the first one seems to be leaking for 1, and for 2 I don't trust the lid. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be putting them in here. I'm going to put the broad beans in here as well. So I've took the first set of peas that we did out of the propagator because I don't trust it, and I've stuck them in there. They should be fine. About 1 inch of water in the bottom, we'll get all the other plants in there, and then over the next couple of days it'll soak up the majority of that water, keeping the moisture inside of the growing medium so that the peas and the beans get the idea. But also we're going to have this on the top of that. That'll get condensation building up on the top of it as well. That's cold frame, but the cold frame is inside Tiki Tunnel 2, which is our trampoline framed polytunnel. Check out the episodes for that one if you want to see how we constructed it, because it's ace. So it's essentially you've got a room within a room, so you've got this space that's going to be slightly warmer, keep the plants slightly warmer as the sun heats it up during the daytime if we get sun. It's just another layer of protection. And they say that you bring your growing zone forward for every layer of protection that you can put on there. So we're in zone 8, so we're hopefully going to bring that down, or up. I forget which one it is. Anyway, it'll be warmer in here. But the other one I'm going to try just leave it in there, so because that's okay. It seems all right. Doesn't seem to be leaking.
So I'm going to try that, try the peas in there, and then see what the difference is with the peas that are inside my handmade one. Anyway, I'm digressing there, boys and girls. So we'll get those covered up, we'll get them labelled up, and we'll get them into the cold frame. Okay, so there they are, all inside. And there's space for more there, obviously. But we'll see how they get on. As I say, through capillary action, the moisture, the clean water should be drawn up into the compost mix and give the peas and beans the idea that it's time to start growing, start sprouting. But we'll see. Come back in about 10 days time and have a look. We'll have a look next week, see if any of them have popped up, but it'll be about 10 to 14 days before we can be sure. Put them to bed in there. Give that a clean off in a second. Yeah, it's going to be getting the light coming through though. You're not going to get that direct sunlight, so they will tend to take a little bit longer, but the light will give them the idea to start firing off. You know what I mean? You've got the growing medium, you've got the water, and you've got the light coming through. And that's all they need. They don't need too much when the little starts, little seeds. Don't need any nutrition. Don't need any carbon dioxide at this point. But they will do when they're growing. They'll absorb the carbon dioxide. Carbon scrubbers. Plants are carbon scrubbers. That's what you want in this day and age. If you're worried about that kind of thing. Get growing. Grow things. And they shall scrub the carbon from your atmosphere for you. Needs carbon. Some people, when they're growing certain crops, actually introduce carbon dioxide into the greenhouse. And we may well show you that this year as well. Actually increase the carbon dioxide. Because they take in the carbon dioxide, if you remember from school, and they release oxygen. Right, keep growing with your heads down. Save the planet. And sort out the food crisis as well at the same time. I've been good in my finger. You've been beautiful, fantastic and fragrant if you're a lady. You've been masculine, forthright and virile if you're a gentleman. And now's the time to get your crops on the go. See you in a bit. Take care. God bless. Keep growing with your heads down. Bye bye now.